Macca's Reviews.
Hey guys, Macca here. Welcome to my quickie review slash first impressions video of The Evil Within, available starting mid-October 2014. I'm just going to go straight into the review and start off by saying that graphically, in my opinion, this game does look amazing. Up close, the textures aren't necessarily the greatest, but overall, when you're playing the game, especially in the night sequences when it's raining, the game looks absolutely stunning. There's decent narrative with story and amazing cinematic detail in the game. Almost throughout the entire game, there are parts where you feel like you're playing a movie and you're watching a movie, and it's very engaging in that sense. So graphically and narratively, it does a great job. The game is also a survival horror, and even on the easier difficulty settings, the game is incredibly challenging, which is a good thing, especially for those who are fans of this genre. But it should be noted that that might not necessarily be your personal favorite thing. You will die plenty of times, probably hundreds of times in your first playthrough of the game, especially if you choose to play on one of the medium difficulties. Unfortunately, one of the downsides of this is that the game has terrible save and checkpoint systems, especially during long extended boss battles and sometimes when there are puzzles that can kill you. I found that dying in the middle of a very long 10 to 15 minute boss battle would respawn me quite a way away from that boss battle, and occasionally I'd feel like I was just repeating the same basic moves in order to get to the same stage that I found challenging. So I would have liked to see some better checkpoint systems, as well as the option to manual save while playing the game, which were not available. Now, for those who are unaware, this is a survival horror type game with a large focus on gore and horror. There's also the aspect in which the game is a psychological thriller and tries to screw with your mind more so than it actually tries to screw with your anxiety levels while playing the game. It's one of those mindfuck games. So a lot of supernatural things will be happening to you and around your character as you're playing, which does make for terrifying set pieces and enemy encounters within the game, which is great. There's also some basic crafting and upgrading elements, which are nice to see in this game, although the crafting is extremely basic and only works with your bow weapon, but the upgrading is pretty extensive. Now, one of the good things about this game is that it does have a decent replay value. This is a single player only game, which is a major turnoff to a lot of people. However, with that being said, after you beat the game for the first time, which will take you approximately 15 hours, it will unlock a New Game Plus mode, which adds 2 difficulties as well as 2 weapons you can start with. So those are some decent unlocks, and the New Game Plus does offer players a reason to replay the game. And I've only personally played it through once, but I know a lot of people have really enjoyed going in there and playing it through a second or even starting a third playthrough, and diehard fans will really like that. The game has also included a stealth mechanic in which you can try to sneak around and kill people from behind, but I found that this mechanic wasn't very effective and wasn't very useful in about 90% of the game's combat scenarios. So although this mechanic is in there, I felt that it was underused. Also, I found that the protagonist, the main character you play, was pretty unengaging, even though the story was well told and it was well voiced by the voice actors. I didn't find his story, his personal viewpoints, and him as a character very engaging. Now, as you've probably seen in this review, the entire game takes place in a 2.35 to 1 aspect ratio. I don't know the perfect math on that. I think it's 21 to 9. As you can see on screen, the game is letterbox, meaning there's black bars above and below the main screen that you're playing, making the viewing angle super wide. Now, there's a few reasons I'm sure the developers did this. It does lead to a more cinematic and engaging experience, and because there's black bars above and below what you're rendering, there is less to render on screen, which allows the game to run better and look better. Unfortunately, I did personally think that this led to some tight camera angles and some awkward combat situations because I felt the camera was too close. I felt that the camera didn't see enough for me. And obviously, because of the limitations of the console, you are unable to take these bars off in the game, and your only option to take these off is on the PC port. So some players might not like this. Additionally, I did have a few performance issues on the Xbox One with occasional frame rate drops, and I even had a little bit of freezing. I've done some poking around on the internet, and it seems that a lot of people are having freezing issues where the game seems to just lock up and just die on them. So there is that little bit of issue. Hopefully it gets fixed with a patch. I'll show you an example right here. So yeah, during my playthrough that happened probably 5 to 8 times, which is unfortunate. And as I mentioned, the terrible save system, as I reloaded my game, I had to replay a good 5 minutes of pretty linear hallway-based levels. So yeah, with all of that being said, I think this game makes a very good attempt at a new franchise. I did enjoy my playthrough, although I personally won't be playing through it a full second time as it didn't engage me that much. If you're on the fence about it and you do like survival horror, I don't think you'll be let down. But with that being said, if you're not a fan of the series, I don't think this game does enough to get you to buy it. There's not enough uniqueness and not enough amazingness or wow factor in order to get a regular player to want to pick up this game, especially when the video game market is so super crowded in October and November. That's about it. If you have any additional questions, you can feel free to reach me in the YouTube comments section, and hopefully I'll get back to you. As always, if you found the review useful, you can drop a like on the video, subscribe for more content, and hopefully I see you in the next video. Peace.